September 10th is recognized as World Suicide Prevention Day. This day is observed to honor those lost to suicide and to remind us all of the importance of reaching out, whether you or someone you know needs a listening ear, kindness, or support. In Elmvale, the Simcoe County Suicide Awareness Council organized a dedication ceremony to mark the day by donating a memorial bench. The bench was made and donated by Sean Evans. It was his 10th bench. Evans told Simcoe Community Media his inspiration came from wanting to support mental health awareness and remembrance.
If you know somebody who seems to be struggling, you need to speak up and ask ask if they're okay and offer help. If you yourself are struggling, there's so many people out there that are willing to listen and to help, and organizations like the council. You just need to ask, and people don't need to suffer in silence.
Lee Matthieu, who performed music at the event, shared with us her experience of losing someone to suicide and encouraged everyone to reach out.
I've since lost 3 other family members, and honestly, there were no signs. And so it's hard to say that we were looking, we should have known because they were doing this. There's no rhyme or reason to it, and there's no set, rule of this is what to look for. But, like the fire chief spoke to, it's okay not to be okay, and it's okay to ask somebody, how they're feeling.
Elder John Rice, co-founder of the Feathers Carriers, told us about the Indigenous organization and its role in suicide prevention.
My message would be, and it's very hard, especially for us men, because we don't talk. No matter how you are inside, no matter how overwhelming something is, it's important to reach out and talk to someone. Talk about your feelings, right? Talk about what you're going through. And the counterpoint to that, when someone comes and talks to you, is to listen to them. Right? We say it takes courage to speak, but it also takes courage to listen at times.
We also spoke with Bernadette Ramsey Copeland about the inspiration behind co-founding the Simcoe County Suicide Awareness Council.
So this is an event that we hold in different communities every year on September 10th, and we just want people to know that they're not alone, that we're thinking about them, that there is support out there, and we just have to kind of work for it.
Following are the interview and coverage of the event.
My name is Sean Evans. I'm a retired OPP officer. I've been retired about 3 years, and my wife is a current serving OPP officer, and I've been involved with the Simcoe County Suicide Awareness Council for 5 years now. Yeah, so I'm a hobby welder, and so 5 years ago they were doing a bench dedication close to where I live, and a good friend of mine had she'd lost her father from suicide and had benefited from the programming that the council provides, and so I attended that bench ceremony, and I learned that they were having to do a lot of fundraising to try and get benches made. So my wife and I decided that we would undertake building and donating a bench each year, and so for the past 5 years, this is the 5th bench that we've built and donated, and it's a bit of a labor of love, and it kind of helps the council on redirecting their funds to be used in a much more efficient use than having to buy a bench. Yeah, it's kind of evolved each year. The bench itself is made from welded steel, like tubular steel, and then last couple of years we started getting it powder coated by a company in Barrie. It just makes it more durable to be in the outdoors, and longevity and not rusting or fading. And then the bench top itself, it's all made out of recycled plastic, made like dimensional lumber, and it actually comes from a company in Barrie. So it's Ontario steel, Ontario plastic on the bench top, and it's made in Simcoe County, and the powder coating is done by a local Barrie company as well. So my wife and I just donate the money. We purchase the raw materials, and I have a hobby welding shop at my home, and we over the span of about 6 weeks, we make the bench and donate it. Well, I think the main thing is, is going on their website. Donations, financial donations are always appreciated. They provide a wonderful, counseling programs for survivors of suicide, family members of suicide, and so it's our hope was to allow them to use more money for that programming and reach more people. So I think if people want to get involved and help, it's contributing to allow those successful programs to continue. For me, I think the message is hope and help. And it's if you know somebody who seems to be struggling, you need to speak up and ask ask if they're okay and offer help. If you yourself are struggling, there's so many people out there that are willing to listen and to help, and organizations like the council. You just need to ask, and people don't need to suffer in silence. There's lots of people, there's lots of organizations out there for support, and it's just taking advantage of that support and being able to say I need help, and I think for everybody else, it's just doing our part to eliminate the stigma and being part of the solution to help people when they need help.
My name's Lee Matthieu, and I've been involved with the Simcoe County Suicide Awareness Council now for the last 9 years, and became a member due to experiencing suicide loss in my own family. And the first one was my cousin at 51. He took his life 2 weeks before Christmas. And then my best friend, she lost her daughter a week after New Year's. And just between those two events and trying to help my best friend deal with the grief and trying to be there for her and being able to somewhat relate because of the loss that I had experienced. I just wanted to try to help her, any way I could. There's certain calls that definitely affect you. I started in 1990 and I retired in 2002 after 30 years of service with the OPP. And you get every call, you hear every scream, you hear everything. And being a communications operator, we're the first contact. So we get the initial, reaction from the people involved. And yeah, it has its way of taking its toll on you for sure. And there's a lot of stress involved and a lot of bad calls.
So how, what is your way of dealing with, day-to-day stress of the job?
Well, my outlet was through writing, either through poetry or through songs. I'm a songwriter, and so using my outlet with music and poetry just really helped me get over my own stress and help deal with situations. It's tough because I've since lost 3 other family members, and honestly, there were no signs. And so it's hard to say that we were looking, we should have known because they were doing this. With both my cousins, and then I have a nephew as well. With both my cousins, they just seemed as normal as anything, which is apparently, part of one of the symptoms type of thing. But they kind of already had their mind made up, sort of thing. But yeah, there's no rhyme or reason to it, and there's no set, rule of this is what to look for. But, like the fire chief spoke to, it's okay not to be okay, and it's okay to ask somebody, how they're feeling. Yeah, for sure, checking on each other, and if you see somebody's a little off, don't be afraid to check in on them. Don't be afraid to call them. Don't be afraid to mention, are you having suicidal thoughts? And that's important. That's part of the narrative and breaking down the stigma, which is kind of what our council is trying to do. So that's all part of it as well, is, be open and be good and okay to talk to people about it. Because a lot of times that's just what they need to hear. Well, getting involved, we're always looking for council members. So if anybody's ever wanting to become a volunteer, we're very open to new members. And, just attending our events like our annual walk in May and the bench dedication is always every year on September 10th. Coming out and supporting that is always good as well. And donations if they want to. Well, as we've mentioned kind of throughout the program, was that there's always hope and there's always resources and you're never alone. So if you are struggling or whatever, there's always somebody out there to talk to. There's always resources that you can turn to. So never feel like you don't have anybody that's there for you.
So this is our 10th bench, memorial bench that we have given to our community. And the idea behind that is that we want communities to know that, when they're struggling, when they don't know where to go, when they are thinking about suicide or living with someone who's suicidal or need support after a suicide to work through that. We have resources. Not everybody's going to get help right away, and we apologize for that, but we're going to try our best. We're going to try our best to give resources and provide services and lead you in the right direction, right? So this is an event that we hold in different communities every year on September 10th, and we just want people to know that they're not alone, that we're thinking about them, that there is support out there, and we just have to kind of work for it. So we have a Survivors of Suicide Loss Support Program. It's a 10-week survivors program for people who've lost someone to suicide. And since COVID, we've had to go online, which actually is quite successful. So our group will start this year on September 23rd. We have different topics every week, and we just are free to talk. The only thing that we caution people about is not to give the details, because we don't want people to be traumatized, but we know people are going to be re-triggered. So, but people are willing to talk and come and hope and just find that, that they're not alone out there, that there's all these panel of people who are there to support them. And this is our 10th bench. We started in Barrie 10 years ago, and it's quite amazing. I think we thought that might have been a one-time event, but now here we are 10 years later, so I'm very, very excited about that. When we go in to talk about it, we take about a year to kind of plan and make sure that this is going to go well on the day. And it's just really a lot of advocacy, a lot of awareness. A lot of communities don't know that there's something like this available to them. So it's really good that they invite us in and we talk about it, and people start talking in their own circles about this hope and this support and this encouragement. So it's really good. So like I say, we'll do this every year as long as we can, for sure. And we are so blessed to have Sean who makes our benches, and John who blesses our benches, and so it's wonderful every year. We always get people from the community who go, I was at that event and I didn't realize you had a group, or I didn't realize you had a walk in the spring, or I didn't realize this or that. It's like, wow, that's so cool that people, take that away and they understand and believe it and call us. Well, interesting enough, everybody who's on our team has been touched by suicide, and actually it's really hard today to find someone who hasn't been touched by suicide, whether it's a neighbor, a colleague, or a friend, or a relative, it's just, or someone in the community like Robin Williams, right? Everybody was affected by that. So I think everybody's affected, and we really want to make sure that people understand that they don't walk alone in this. We can talk to them, we can find support for them. So,
do you feel that that's one of the important aspects of this day?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. So if you had a message for people that are watching this that didn't know about you, what would your closing message be to them?
I'd say, there's hope out there. Please don't give up. Please reach out. Please talk to us. Please talk to someone. Don't give up, because I think it's every 41 seconds someone dies by suicide, and every 42 seconds someone has to deal with that. So your death is going to be felt for a long, long time. So please think about that before you take your life. Please know that we're here to help. We can lead you to the right direction.
My name is John Rice. I'm from Wasauqing First Nation near Parry Sound. Yeah, we've founded an life promotion program called Feather Carriers. We've been going now probably about 6 or 7 years. A colleague of mine, Dr. Ed Connors, who is a clinical psychologist, and myself, I'm known as a healer. We were thinking about starting an Indigenous suicide prevention program. But in looking at everything, we couldn't culturally, didn't see too much about suicide in terms of our language. So when we looked at that, we discovered that a lot of our cultural outlook is about promoting life promotion. So just like when you're thirsty, you say, "Bishnimnikwe," I'm going to get a drink of water. So a lot of what you would do for yourself is procuring life. I'm going to eat, I'm going for a walk. That was from the language. So we talked about life promotion and promoting life, and the main focus of the program, trainees come in, they might not see themselves as life promoters. They might, because we really don't see ourselves, we don't see ourselves for our gifts, but over the course of the training, they come to recognize some element about themselves that people admire, people even want to be like. So there are certain, they turn and they think, I'm a life promoter. I help people around me. I promote their lives from something I do. So it's kind of like a training that teaches you. You promote life. So that was a good way of looking at that, addressing suicide through life promoters. Originally, it was an Indigenous-based program, but over the years, we've become a little more inclusive. There isn't a great many of non-Indigenous who take it yet, because it has such a strong Indigenous focus. There have been a few who've passed through, though, but we've never advertised. It's spread by word of mouth. We've been pretty lucky that way. And right now we might have over 450, 500 feather carriers across Canada. We've gone out east, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, Labrador, and then Ontario, Quebec, Winnipeg, and even up, I did a group up in Whitehorse. The training is a 5-day program spread over the year. We do 2 days. That's actually the hard part. We do the majority of the teachings the first 2 days. And then we give people 3 months. They come back in 3 months and they can either revisit what they had on the first day. 3 months after that, we'll do an introduction of how you're a life promoter, how you see yourself. Is there something you do? So back in the beginning, we used to call it develop a project. Do a project that you do. Some people chose art, music, storytelling. And then on the last day, which is 6 months later, like a year, we do you present your presentation to your class, and then you're invited to pick up an eagle feather. The eagle feather symbolizes life. When someone receives a feather, eagle feather, we say you've been given life. So when they choose to pick up an eagle feather, then they're choosing to be a life promoter, a feather carrier. So we always say that it's more of a beginning than a graduation. One thing we recognize, not everybody can do suicide intervention. So the foundation of feather carriers, every community has natural life promoters. If you sit on a volunteer committee, you're a life promoter. If you do things within your community that bring in some social aspect of health into your community, you usually see them as life promoters. So what can happen in communities, especially up north, these people will get burned out. They might step away from the committee. So the committee might die out. So when the committee dies out, that's when sometimes social ills creep back into the community. So life promoters, what eventually would happen is when in a community, the life promoters would go in and reinvigorate the natural life promoters within in the community. So it's less intense than doing suicide intervention. Just encouraging other life promoters to keep going. I moved down here, I started working at Waypoint in 2004. So I was recruited as an assist trainer, but coming down here into the community, I've been involved or known of them since that time. Especially people who are considered marginalized. They're free to speak of their own identity, which at times, when they can't, that creates anxiety in them that might lead to suicidal thinking. So that aspect of what's happening in the community here, that concept of accepting your identity, and then also, just being free to who you are. That's an element that goes along with the life promotion to suicide intervention initiatives that have been going on here. Yeah, that the whole dogma around that, suicide's a sin, suicide's a crime. These dogmatic statements that try to scare people from killing themselves, they're very ineffective. So that's when we talked about changing the dialogue, to changing it into one of life, doing life promotion. So that's how we look at it now. Even now when we do our funeral rituals, it's not so much to talk about how the person died, but the survivors, when you come to the mourning, when you come to the grieving, the funeral, one of your purposes you can pick up, you're helping that individual get to the spirit world. You're doing what you can. And that adds to grieving. Every little thing you can do to help someone get back to the spirit world, it's a sense of empowerment. So that's an element that's come back in our culture and other cultures. The Awareness Day, it's a big thing. World Suicide Awareness Day, September 10th. But here locally, like we talk about the 10th bench, I think I've only missed one bench. Last year I couldn't be here. But that's an important highlight to suicide awareness. For sure, even now, the freedom to talk about awareness, freedom to encourage people to speak up and speak out. My message would be, and it's very hard, especially for us men, because we don't talk. No matter how you are inside, no matter how overwhelming something is, it's important to reach out and talk to someone. Talk about your feelings, talk about what you're going through. And the counterpoint to that, when someone comes and talks to you, is to listen to them. We say it takes courage to speak, but it also takes courage to listen at times.
So we acknowledge that the land on which we live, work, and play include the traditional territories of many Indigenous nations. The original inhabitants of Simcoe County were the Huron-Wendat, followed by the Haudenosaunee, and then the Anishinaabeg. The Mississauga have also walked on these lands. We recognize that the many injustices experienced by the Indigenous peoples of what we now call Canada continue to affect their health and their well-being. We respect that Indigenous people have rich culture and traditional practices that have been known to improve health outcomes. We invite you to reflect on the regions and territories that you call home as we commit ourselves to gaining knowledge and forging a new, culturally safe relationship and contributing to reconciliation. And I'm going to take a moment to just do a little reading. This is from Marjorie Bocage. She's a Two-Spirit Métis auntie, a filmmaker, an artivist and an educator, a land protector, and a water walker. She was born in Vassar, Manitoba, to a large Métis family. And Marjorie's life work has been about creating social change, working to give people the tools for creating possibilities and right relations. She has been a grandmother for our Walking with Our Sisters, the elder for Out Saskatoon, and the elder in residence for the University of Saskatchewan Student Union. I read this the other day, and it made me think not only of what I gain from my Indigenous friends, what they share with me, but also of the land. It's called Moon Sisters. So sacred circle, full moon rising, gathering us home, woman medicine. Every time you display your wisdom out loud, I am granted a space to discover my own. Every time you give context to the struggle of being on this path, I find my feet on a new walk. Every time you choose to speak your softness, I am made safe. Thank you for staying human, for being the weaver. Thank you for spinning threads from all facets of life, a tapestry of possibility, a beautiful mess, fabulously flawed, matter to create our futures. In the places where we rise above the fray of our fear and just keep going and going and going. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. So we're actually going to co-host and be your MCs for today. So thank you everyone for attending. I see most of you have the agenda I've passed out. If anyone's missing one and would like to see the agenda, it's on the tables over there, along with a lot of handout and resources we have. So we have the privilege, like I said, of being your MCs. And I'd like to start by thanking everyone who made the time out of their busy day to attend today. This topic is really important, and unfortunately, it's got a lot of stigma surrounding it. So including town officials, representatives, many representatives from emergency services for coming today, community members. We truly appreciate everyone coming for this very meaningful event. Sarah and I are actually subbing in today. One of our council members, unfortunately, is having her own mental health crisis, which she wanted me to share with you today. So Katie Vicker is unable to be with us, but she sends her love and she's here in spirit. These events are so important. They bring individuals together in person, sometimes for the first time, and we can help start conversations around suicide and helping those coping with grief and loss. So again, we've been around for quite a while. We have our board up here with a new timeline that shows you some of our history. The Simcoe County Suicide Awareness Council started over 15 years ago, and it started 30 years ago, our grief peer support group, which is all run by volunteers, and that started 30 years ago. So on that note, I would like to introduce and invite up our co-founder and chair of our council, Bernadette Ramsey Copeland. So thank you, Bernadette. We're very happy to have her here today because we did miss her at our walk immensely. So it's wonderful that she can be here with us today. So the council members, you can see us, most of us are in our purple shirts.
Thank you, and welcome everyone for coming today. I can't believe when we started this 10 years ago that we'd still be going. How wonderful that is that we're still going. We have community support, we have a wonderful council. And I would like to introduce them to you actually. So we have Lee, who's our musician. We have Susan, we have Sarah, we have Barb, we have Sarah over here. Hi Sarah. Did anybody miss? Scott. Don't forget Scott. Who's doing who does our social media. Oh my gosh, you can't believe the work he's doing to keep us out there. To keep the topic of suicide out there. We have to do that. Look at that, I'm blowing down the wind. Anyway, so we are thankful. And like Susan mentioned, we're really thankful to the community for supporting us and letting us bring this bench here. We're always honored when we can bring a memorial bench to a community, because sometimes the community, people lose their lives and people are in distress and people are confused, and sometimes you just don't know what to do. You don't know where to go. You don't know who to talk to. Well, we have a plaque on our bench. It says Simcoe County Suicide Awareness Council. We hope that anybody who comes and sits on our bench, or any of you here, pass along the message that there is hope. There's hope, that we're here for you, we can help you, we can support you. We run a survivors program, which is actually starting in a couple of weeks. So yeah, so please join us if you know anybody who needs that support. Please send them our way. So I am very thankful. I'm also very thankful to Sean. Sean is the maker of a beautiful bench that you'll see unwrapped later. He's been donating those benches for a couple of years now, and they're just so wonderful. He creates them and he donates them every year. That's an amazing gift to give to us and to the community. So thank you, Sean. And we can't forget John Rice. Where's John? Over here. John has been our supporter of us for years and years and years, ever since we started. He's been supporting us and encouraging us. And John always honors us with our bench. He comes, he does a smudge, a traditional smudge, blesses our bench, blesses the community, so it gets off to a good start. So thank you everyone, and I pass it along to Susan.
Thank you, Bernadette. Okay, so at this point in our event today, we will have several guest speakers come up and say a few words. So firstly, I would like to invite Ward 1 Councillor Matt Garwood of the Township of Springwater to say a few words of greetings from the community. Thanks, Matt.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Matt Garwood, as previously mentioned, Ward 1 Councillor for the Township of Springwater. On behalf of Mayor Jennifer Coughlin and the Township of Springwater Council, I'm honored to bring greetings and extend our deep gratitude to the important work of the Simcoe County Suicide Awareness Council. Today, we dedicate the 10th Memorial Bench here in Elmvale, and we are reminded of the power of community, remembrance, and hope. These memorials not only honor the lives lost, but also stand as a symbol of support and as a reminder that no one is ever alone. Thank you to everyone who has come together to make this initiative possible and for helping break down stigma while fostering compassion, healing, and resilience in our communities. Today we have Councillor Brad Thompson from the Anton Mills community joining us, along with Chief Kirk and many of our Township of Springwater staff. Heritage Park here is a special place in the Elmvale community, one that is in the heart of our community that many people go to and enjoy. this bench and this memorial is a perfect location. So thank you for choosing Elmvale. We're proud and happy to have this here and to last for many generations for not only our community, but those that visit. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Councillor Matt, and the other councillor that's attending today. What you said just is exactly what we're all about. So it's nice that you recognize it and you're able to join us today, and you see the importance of having these types of memorials and memories out in the community. So thank you. So next, I'd like to invite up, we have a bit of an agenda change, Christina Schwarter, sorry, I'm gonna butcher your last name, Staff Sergeant Huronia OPP, so thank you.
Good afternoon, community members and partners. I'm Staff Sergeant Christina Schroeder of the Huronia West OPP Detachment, which serves the communities of Springwater Township, Clearview Township, and the town of Wasaga Beach. It is truly an honor to stand with you today on World Suicide Prevention Day to participate in the 10th Memorial Bench dedication hosted by the Simcoe County Suicide Awareness Council. Each day in Canada, approximately 12 lives are lost to suicide, according to Statistics Canada. It is the second leading cause of death among youth and young adults aged 15 to 34. These numbers are staggering, and behind each statistic is a story, a family, a circle of friends and loved ones left to navigate the grief and loss. It's rare to meet someone who hasn't been personally touched by suicide. As police officers, many of us have felt the heartbreak of losing a colleague to suicide. The grief is deep and the impact is lasting. That's why the work of the Simcoe County Suicide Awareness Council is so vital. Through their tireless efforts, they continue to break down the barriers of stigma, raise awareness, and offer compassionate support to those who have lost someone dear. From the first Walk of Hope in 2009 to the first bench dedication in 2016, and through their survivor support programs, the Council has built a culture of awareness, hope, healing, and connection. May this 10th bench serve as a place of comfort and reflection for survivors, and as a source of education and awareness for all who pass by and read its plaque. To the volunteers and members of the Council, thank you for your unwavering dedication and the meaningful impact you continue to make in our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina, and thank you for mentioning that World Suicide Prevention and Awareness Day is today, and that's why we're here. We didn't lead with that one, but that is an important piece of this event today. So our next speaker is one of our council members. This is Scott Mills. He's the spokesperson for the Ontario Provincial Police Association and a member of our council. So come up, Scott, thanks.
Well, thanks very much for inviting the OPP Association. For those of you who don't know who the OPP Association is, we're the sole bargaining agent for over 10,000 members of the OPP from the rank of staff sergeant down. And then once you graduate into retirement, even if you're a commissioned officer, you come back to be a member of the OPP Association. A lot of people don't know that. So we're all one big family of OPP members. I personally, I'm a retired Toronto Police and Peel Regional Police Officer. And I've been here at these bench events 3 different times in my role as a communications person for the OPP Association. And 3 separate presidents have come and talked here, which is pretty awesome. So unfortunately, they were all tied up today, and they asked me to say a few words on their behalf. So on behalf of the Board of Directors of the OPP Association and all of our members, thank you to everybody that does anything on this topic, because I see behind the scenes what these people do to make these days happen, and it's unbelievable. It's tireless. They never stop. And I'm proud that we have members involved in this. Like Sean Evans is a retired OPP officer that made this bench. Lee Matthieu here, playing the guitar and singing, is a retired communicator or dispatcher. A lot of people say dispatcher, but in OPP land it's communicator, and is always here. Katie Vickery, serving officer, she volunteers for the council. So little things like the little plaque on the bench, picked up by Katie, right? Everybody does their little thing. So it's a teamwork. Everybody works together. Sometimes we scream at each other, but it's all worth it in the end because great events like this happen and awareness happens. So I handed out a little sticker to everybody earlier that has hope=life.ca written on it. That is the official website. The website up on our tarp here, we need to, on our tent, we need to update that. So if I have that sticker stuck in my car, so every time I get it, that I know there's hope. And hope=life. And that's why I got so hooked on this organization, because they're grassroots, they're doing what it takes, and they're saving people's lives, including our own lives of our OPP officers. Since 1989, we have statistics that there's over 50 OPPA members who have died by suicide since 1989. And for many years, those statistics were never even kept. So we want to create awareness as much as the community does for our officers and our civilian members. And we're just so grateful that all of you are here today supporting this. Take that sticker, visit the website, go on social media, spread the good word. And there's a sign that just it blew down here, but it says 988. A lot of the people here were kind of visionaries behind 988, which is a suicide crisis line. And anybody can call it. It doesn't matter if you're a community member, it doesn't matter if you're a young child, an adult, first responder, police officer, anybody can call it. And you're never alone. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott. He always gets me in the heart there, so thank you for that. Please never leave us for the Hamilton Suicide Awareness Council, even though you live down there. We always appreciate you coming and being with us. We know it's a long drive and we love you, so thank you so much. Next, I would like to invite up Jeff Kirk, who is the Fire Chief of Springwater Fire and Emergency Services. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you to the council for the invitation to speak today. So today, when I was sitting down, reflecting and writing out this speech, I took the time to reflect on several colleagues that I've lost to suicide within the fire service. I often wonder in those struggles whether there was something more we could have done for those members and had a more positive outcome than someone taking their life. So in the fire service, as a young firefighter, almost 45 years ago, we had a culture, we were introduced to a culture of toughness, stoic, saving people while never showing emotion. When we were the ones going in when others were running out to save people from danger. In reality, losing people outweighed those that we saved. This led to what I refer to as a moral injury, causing members to suffer from depression, lack of self-confidence, increased anxiety, and often helplessness. Further, the fact that we did not speak about these events and were able to grieve and go through the process of losing somebody, it often resulted in negative outcomes. And one of those negative outcomes in a lot of cases were diagnosis of PTSD. And the person obviously suffered in silence. I stand before you today as somebody that's in treatment for PTSD. I'm proud to tell people that, but I can also say that I was very reserved to let that out because of the stigma that you spoke about. I am happy to say that the fire service has definitely evolved in the mental health since my experiences that day as a young firefighter. Today, Springwater Fire and Emergency Services continues to be proactive in its approach to dealing with mental health. We have such things as mandatory training in resiliency and mental health, and we also provide a peer support team that can guide and listen to a member and guide them to support services that are readily available to all our members. Breaking the stigma, I know there's 3 speakers that talked about that, has been at the forefront of the provincial government, and they have taken steps to provide free services for all emergency workers and their families. More recently, a committee has been formed consisting of the tri-services, and the committee has been formed for the ideas to approach anti-stigma in the workplace. These are all great initiatives. There is definite traction. However, more work is needed to be done. In closing, if you have the inclination that someone may be struggling, ask the question, are you okay? Remember, it's okay not to be okay. A simple talk could assist in navigating the cycle of mental health and prevent future suicides. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jeff. Next, we are honored to have John Rice, 3rd degree member of the Three Fires Midwinton Society and co-founder of the Feather Carriers. John was a keynote speaker for the Canadian Association of Suicide Prevention earlier today, and that's a national event streamed across the country. So we are honored to have him here with us. Thank you, John.
Bonjour, Kenowea, Migweski, Bajak Nongum.
You want it up a bit more? There, is that better?
Thanks for coming. This is this beautiful day and this dedication of this bench. In the recent years, we've turning the stigma against suicide. In our culture too, we've had a turning of things where we don't look at, we don't judge how someone died. We don't make a judgment because we know they're going to talk to the Creator once they get there. And they'll explain to the Creator what motivated them or what led them to go the way they went. Yeah. So that's what... Yeah, so we understand a journey is a journey, whether it's a life journey or a spirit journey. So they're going to get home to the Creator, and the Creator will listen. And the Creator won't judge them. And the Creator will take them home. Is how we understand that. So all those ones we've lost through suicide, we don't judge that anymore. We know that they're back home with the one who created them. And it's a beautiful life that they have, spirit existence that they have now. So that's what we're remembering at this time. This bench dedication, a place to come and reflect, a place to come and think that we can do that. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to do a memorial song to remember these ones who've left us too early, whether it's by suicide or other means. Anybody in your life who's gone to the spirit world, we do this song. It says, what are you thinking of me? It says, Anin enemagoyan. What are you thinking about me is what it says. So the song is in 4 verses. We say in the first verse, that's you singing. You're singing to the spirit world, to your lost one, to your loved one. You're saying, what are you thinking about me? Is the first verse. And the second verse, they sing back to you. They sing to you, well, what are you thinking about me? That's what they sing back at you. So that's why we have memorials like this, remembering these lives, these beautiful people. And then the third time you sing back to them again, what are you thinking about me? And the fourth time they say, sing back to you. Well, tell me what you're thinking about me. So it's always good to have a good reflection of these ones who walked in this life, who left messages for us and understandings and teachings. So I'm going to sing this song, this memorial song, so we can remember these ones who left us all too soon. I would just like to remind us about Simcoe County here, because there's been great collaboration, the community here in this area, because feather carriers, life promotion, it began here in Simcoe County. I know the Simcoe County Suicide Awareness Council helped us out, CMHA helped us out, the Waypoint, there are other people here, other agencies that helped us form that life promotion program. So there's been a good looking at ourselves as people and remembering those ones, and hopefully the day will come when we can eradicate suicide and everybody born will live a long, fruitful life. Miigwech.
Thank you, John, so much for joining us today. John has been at many of our bench dedications, and we always appreciate his participation, the beautiful words he brings, and his spirit. So thank you very much, John. Thank you to all of our speakers today. So that wraps up that portion, and we'd like to take a moment and recognize some of the members attending from organizations today, and I'm sorry I won't probably have everyone. But Superintendent Yateman from the Central Region Ontario Provincial Police is here today. He was also at our 2022 RAMA bench dedication. So if you want to give us a little wave there, thanks. Art Nolan, I believe, is here, Superintendent of County of Simcoe Paramedic Services. Thank you. I've got Kylie Patrick, head RSVP from representing Elizabeth Fry Society, Simcoe Muskoka. It's over there. Thank you. I'm pretty sure Lisa is here, the manager of Wellbeing and Care with Georgian College. And Kate, did she have to leave? Okay, she was here. And Christine is here representing Ryan's Hope and Simcoe Community Media, so thank you. And again, thank you, Matt and Councillor. Oh, perfect. Sorry. And so thank you both for coming. And some of the regrets we received were Liz Garmett, who's the trustee for Springwater and Oro Medonte at the Simcoe County District School Board, along with the principal of Elmvale and the superintendent at District High School. So they weren't able to attend this afternoon, but we appreciate their support. So thank you. And now Lee is gonna sing us out, right?
Before the
Yeah, and then we're gonna do the bench dedication. So thank you. I usually do this song at all our events, whether it's the walk or the bench dedication. And I'm kind of an amateur songwriter, so I do singing, songwriting. And I wrote this song after kind of a tragic event for myself and my friend. I lost my cousin 2 weeks before Christmas, and she lost her daughter a week after New Year's. So it was a tough time for both of us, and just tried to reflect with the song. I hope you enjoy it. It's called Hands of Time. A sunny day, but I can't feel the sun, flowers bright, but I can't smell the blooms. Children play, but I can't hear them laugh. I'm so empty since I lost you. If I could turn back the hands of time, I'd wrap my arms around you. I'd never let you go. If I could turn back the hands of time, I'd tell you that I love you more than you'll ever know. But I can't turn back the hands of time. Someday I pray that I will understand why you had to leave us that way. The signs I didn't see, the guilt that's haunting me. My heart weighs so empty with this pain. If I could turn back the hands of time, I'd wrap my arms around you. I'd never let you go. If I could turn back the hands of time, I'd tell you that I love you more than you'll ever know. But I can't turn back the hands of time. Hold you just for one more day, to see you smile and kiss your face. But I know there's no way. If I could turn back the hands of time, but I can't turn back the hands of time.